Question 1. In the context of managing third-party risks, what is the most critical activity to ensure ongoing security compliance of third-party vendors? Option A, conducting initial due diligence checks. Option B, performing regular security audits and assessments. Option C, requiring vendors to sign a non-disclosure agreement, NDA. Option D, reviewing vendor contracts annually. Take a moment to think about your answer.
The correct answer is B, performing regular security audits and assessments. Here's why. Regular security audits and assessments ensure that third-party vendors maintain compliance with security standards. Initial due diligence, A, is important but not ongoing. NDAs, C, protect information but don't ensure compliance. Annual contract reviews, D, may be too infrequent.
Question 2. Your company is implementing a new Bring Your Own Device, BYOD, policy. What's the most critical risk management consideration? Option A, ensuring consistent device operating systems across the organization. Option B, controlling access to corporate data and applications on personal devices. Option C, minimizing employee costs associated with purchasing personal devices. Option D, choosing specific devices that meet company security standards. Take a moment to think about your answer.
The correct answer is B, controlling access to corporate data and applications on personal devices. Here's why. Data security and access control are paramount in BYOD. The other options are less critical than data protection.
Question 3. An organization is considering investing in a cyber insurance policy as part of its risk management strategy. Which of the following considerations is most important when selecting a policy? Option A, the cost of the premium relative to the organization's budget. Option B, the coverage limits and exclusions detailed in the policy. Option C, the reputation of the insurance provider. Option D, the historical claims made by similar organizations. Take a moment to think about your answer. The correct answer is B, the coverage limits and exclusions detailed in the policy. Here's why. Understanding the coverage limits and exclusions is crucial, as they define the scope of protection provided by the policy and ensure it aligns with the organization's risk profile. Question 4. A newly discovered zero-day exploit affects a critical system. What's the best initial response? Option A, immediately implement a patch. Option B, isolate the affected system to prevent further compromise. Option C, notify all stakeholders and regulatory bodies. Option D, conduct a full system audit. Take a moment to think about your answer. The correct answer is B, isolate the affected system to prevent further compromise. Here's why. Containment is the primary concern with a zero-day. Patching might not be immediately possible. Notification and audit are subsequent actions. Question 5. A company is considering moving its customer data to a cloud service provider. Which of the following actions should the company prioritize to ensure data security? Option A, implementing a cloud-based firewall to protect data in transit. Option B, conducting a risk assessment to evaluate the cloud provider's security controls. Option C, encrypting all customer data before migrating to the cloud. Option D, signing a service-level agreement SLA with the cloud provider. Take a moment to think about your answer. The correct answer is B, conducting a risk assessment to evaluate the cloud provider's security controls. Here's why. Correct. Conducting a risk assessment evaluates the cloud provider's security controls and identifies potential risks, which is essential before migration. A cloud-based firewall protects data in transit, but does not address overall data security in the cloud, but should be based on the findings of a risk assessment. Question 6. In the context of risk management, what is the primary purpose of a risk register? Option A, to document all identified risks and the status of their mitigation efforts. Option B, to serve as a compliance document for regulatory audits. Option C, to track the resource allocation for risk mitigation. Option D, to forecast potential risk trends in the industry. Take a moment to think about your answer. The correct answer is A, to document all identified risks and the status of their mitigation efforts. Here's why. A risk register is used to document identified risks, their assessment, and the status of mitigation efforts, serving as a central repository for risk management activities. Question 7. A security architect is designing a network for a new data center. What is the most effective strategy to minimize the risk of internal threats? Option A, implement network segmentation. Option B, deploy an intrusion detection system, IDS. Option C, conduct regular security awareness training. Option D, use strong perimeter firewalls. Take a moment to think about your answer. The correct answer is A, implement network segmentation. Here's why. Correct. Network segmentation limits the spread of threats by isolating different parts of the network. Network segmentation directly addresses internal threat containment. IDS is more effective for detecting external threats. Training is important, but does not directly minimize the risk of internal threats. Perimeter firewalls focus on external threats and do not address internal segmentation. Question 8. A multinational corporation is assessing the potential impacts of threats to its data centers located in multiple countries. Which of the following should be the primary consideration when evaluating the risk to these assets? Option A, the potential financial loss from a data breach. Option B, the likelihood of political instability in each country. Option C, the geographical location and local climate conditions. Option D, the regulatory requirements in each country. Take a moment to think about your answer. The correct answer is D, the regulatory requirements in each country. Here's why. In a multinational context, the primary consideration for risk evaluation is the regulatory and legal environment of each country, while financial loss, A, political instability, B, and geographical factors, C, are all important components of risk. Regulatory requirements, D, are mandatory, vary significantly across jurisdictions, and dictate the legal constraints, data residency rules, and potential penalties, such as GDPR fines, that a corporation must navigate. In professional certification contexts, like CISM or CISA, the multinational aspect of a question typically points toward the complexity of varying local laws and regulations as the most critical factor in risk management. Question 9. A financial services firm is concerned about potential insider threats and is considering implementing a new security program. Which of the following measures should be prioritized to address this risk? Option A, conducting background checks on all existing employees. Option B, implementing a data loss prevention (DLP) system. Option C, establishing a robust access control policy. Option D, increasing the frequency of security awareness training. Take a moment to think about your answer. The correct answer is C, establishing a robust access control policy. Here's why. Establishing a robust access control policy helps ensure that employees only have access to data and systems that are necessary for their roles, reducing the risk of insider threats. Question 10. A security officer is tasked with ensuring that the organization's risk management practices stay relevant and effective over time. Which approach should the officer prioritize? Option A, regularly reviewing and updating the risk management framework. Option B, implementing new security technologies as they become available. Option C, conducting employee security training annually. Option D, focusing on regulatory compliance. Take a moment to think about your answer. The correct answer is A, regularly reviewing and updating the risk management framework. Here's why. Regularly reviewing and updating the risk management framework ensures that the practices remain relevant and effective in addressing evolving threats and organizational changes. Thanks for practicing with Flash Genius. For unlimited free practice tests, an AI tutor, and a personalized study plan for CISSP, visit flashgenius.net. Good luck on your exam!